Welcome back to the Skift Daily Briefing. It is Friday, June 12th. I'm Sarah Dandeshit, live from the Hilton Fort Lauderdale Marina. Now, the World Cup is officially underway, and today we are looking at the travel story around it. Airfares are up 20%, yet demand isn't budging. Hotels are still waiting on that booking surge, and Canadians are slowly trickling back into the United States. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, first up, airline CEOs are genuinely surprised right now, as am I. Fares are up 20% compared to last year, and travelers are still booking. United Scott Kirby said flat out at the IATA conference earlier this week, "I expected a bigger elasticity effect, and I've been a little surprised." WestJet's CEO said the same thing. They raised fares, fully expected demand to drop, and it didn't. But here's the thing. Kirby's argument is worth understanding. So even at 20% higher, airfares are still about 10% lower in real terms than they were in 2019. Now, hotels and cruises have already outpaced inflation by far more, so airlines really are just catching up. Alaska, Finnair, and WestJet are all reporting strong summer bookings and are not pulling back on any routes. The takeaway here, the consumer's appetite for travel is proving remarkably resilient, and even airline executives didn't quite see that one coming. But the question is whether it holds true if prices still keep climbing into the fall. Next up, the World Cup kicked off yesterday, and hotels are watching booking data so very closely. So short-term rental bookings in host cities have more than doubled since April, which looks amazing. But hotel prices are down nearly 30% from their peak. So if you are still looking for a place to stay near a match, now may actually be a good time for you. But the international crowd is thin. Arrivals are running 4% below last year, and entry issues just keep stacking up. For example, Scottish fans had ESTAs pulled, Iraq's striker was held 7 hours at O'Hare, and Iran's support staff visas were flat out rejected. Now, none of that exactly helps the sort of welcome message that we're trying to put out there. But the real wild card is which teams advance. A potential Messi versus Ronaldo matchup has been called one of the most sought-after sporting events pretty much of all time. Now, that alone could change the entire picture overnight. And finally, Canadian travel to the U.S. jumped 9.5% in May. That's good news until you realize that May 2025 was already down 37% from the year before. So overall, Canadian trips are still 29% below 2024 levels. But the bright spot, Gen Z Canadians. 61% say the U.S. is on their travel itinerary for this year, compared to just 14% of boomers. Brand USA is totally aware of this, and they are launching a campaign aimed squarely at that younger, more persuadable audience. And quite frankly, that's exactly the right call. Well, that's it for your Skift Daily Briefing. For more industry news, head to skift.com. And as always, subscribe at skift.com/daily.